Hey, what's up, you guys? Um, for you guys that have been caught up with the Tyreek Hill uh, arrest um, incident that happened, Tyreek Hill is a wide receiver in the NFL, and there was a case in which he got arrested, pulled over originally for speeding, and I'm gonna go through this video here, and it's by Jason Whitlock. This is not my video. Fair use, fair use, fair use. But I'm just gonna go over this right here with you guys and just give my commentary. So here we go.
Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me that. Get out of the car. Give me that. Break that freaking window. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out.
Now I've heard already one other channel mention that you know you get into these altercations with these policemen, and they have what this guy terms, and who I'm talking about is Carcino for life, when he says that, police have bad energy. You know, um, my father taught me, and my brothers, when you get into these situations, you want to de-escalate it as quick as possible. That means you already know what time it is, license and registration, um, and then it goes from there.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. What part of law don't you understand? Hey, Drew. Hey, Drew. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro.
Again, fair use, fair use, fair use.
When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand? I'm getting out. You understand what you want or what we tell you? You're a little fucking. We good, good. That's good. Don't worry about it. I hang up the phone. You stop.
I don't know if you guys could hear it or anything like that, but I pulled him over, and he tapped on his. He barely tapped. Why you tapping on my window like you crazy? You're gonna miss. To the not of the law. Man.
Tyreek Hill chose agitation and got agitated police officers. But here's what blows my mind. We've seen this before. Recent history, identified receiver Henry Ruggs, drunk and speeding, killed people and is now incarcerated.
I was a kid. I think I was about 12, 13 years old when I heard about that. If I'm not mistaken, I heard about it was a big deal about this guy going, just these athletes, they have a need for speed and different levels of adrenaline where they're feeling challenged outside of the sport that they in. And a lot of times they buy these sports cars and they hit these straightaways or whatever, and yeah, they do drink and stuff like that, and yeah, people end up getting hit with these cars.
The Raiders receiver. This is in the last 2 or 3 years. Was Price.
Excuse me, I wasn't a kid then, so yeah, I was, yeah, my late 20s. way off. But yeah, I remember it.
Receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs right now. They nearly killed people. They certainly injured people. And he and his buddies walked away from the accident. Wide receiver driving fast. Henry Ruggs, Rasheed Rice, they're the bad guys. Tyreek Hill, he's the good guy. How? How? Why? Because we need some racial incident to talk about during the election cycle? Is that what this is? And so I'm looking at the corporate media. I'm looking at the Miami Dolphins. Everybody's defending.
And I wanted to say this too when I made my Generation Z can't even order their own food video. Tyreek Hill is a part of Generation Z. And you see the way he went at this police officer. You see, this is very unfortunate, for my people, because you'll have these type of people via social media. Let somebody say something like, man, we finally got a black person in office and Kamala Harris, and Tyreek Hill liked the post as if he knows anything about anything outside of playing football. Yeah, I'm saying what I'm saying. These dudes are not that smart. So, this is now a reference point for anything Tyreek Hill endorses. Is like, dude, you got a problem with your mouth and just basic laws. You have no validity in anything outside of how to run a damn route. Period.
Tyreek Hill, and I'm going, are you kidding me? How? We've seen these wide receivers endanger people in their fast cars, being irresponsible. Let's toss in Jalen Carter, the defensive lineman, involved in the speeding incident that killed people. When the media reacted, hey man, we got to get these football players under control. Hey, we're paying them so much money. They're driving around these $200,000-$300,000 cars, and they're speeding and they're in danger. And we want to go, hey, let's overlook Tyreek speeding. Let's overlook him not complying with what the police said. Let's jump to, oh, they pulled him out of the car, and he's a multi-million-dollar athlete, and he's a celebrity, and he's black. Therefore, the police are all in the wrong, and let's have an entire conversation about police brutality. Are you kidding me?
Again, all of this could have been easily avoided. But this is a part of this generation and this time in life where nobody admits that they're wrong. Everything but the right thing goes through their mind in these type of situations, and it's impossible for them to reach any type of uh, decision that would help again defuse the situation. No, 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 no. Again, I'm speaking from somebody that when my brother got pulled over and had 2 jars of weed in the car, and the officer in my community, was like, get out of the car. And I knew from the story that I heard, like, I know Xavier didn't get just comply. I know he didn't comply. He got caught up in it, and from what I was told, he kept saying, I know my rights. I know my rights. Like, Xavier, the cop smells all this dope in the car, bro. You're busted. Give it up. Get out the car so that you can go ahead and get this situation over with. But instead, you're programmed to now say, this is my time to have my Rodney King moment or whatever. It's so it's funny and it's embarrassing. And this is why, when a black man want to sit there and call himself, Tyreek, I guarantee you at some point in your life, you like, man, I'm a king. You got 10, 11, 12 kids, all these baby mamas and stuff like that. I mean, me personally, I ain't got no problem with it because, I've already spoke on that. If you got the funds, but again, with me, it goes past the money. When you're bringing kids into the world, do you have that same interest in wanting to instill values in them that the interest you have in sleeping with their mothers, or the interest that you have of making a big play on the field? Or for some people out there, do y'all, for the people out there who own animals, that are just eager to get home to your dog or your cat or something like that and play with them, and tell them when they're wrong and discipline them, but then give them love, letting them know, like, hey, I'm creating boundaries because I love you. That's that same eagerness that you should have for your kids, all 11, 12 of them. But I doubt you have that feeling. It's just, hey, I got kids, and it's unfortunate, again, in the community, because this is the brainwashing that goes on, and then you guys sit there, call yourself kings. I mean, I can get into a whole nother conversation about calling yourself that in the first place, but this is the behavior that you then display and call yourself, bro, you look like a dummy. You look like a straight fool.
This is a joke. The people defending him, from Stephen A. Smith to Mike McDaniel to the National Football League, with the Dolphins, I'm a tiny, tiny, tiny bit sympathetic with the Dolphins, because this is the silly, stupid world we have created. That if you do not defend the idiocy of athletes, and you own a team or you're coaching a team, you risk losing the athletes. You risk losing your team. If the Dolphins put out a statement, oh God, what if it wasn't Tyreek Hill? Oh, the police and their unnecessary actions. I read it and I'm like, this is crazy. They're defending one of the most irresponsible people in America. And I say that in all seriousness. Tyreek Hill. This man has 10, 11, 12 children.
Yeah.
It depends on what reports you read. And he has 5, 6, 7 baby mamas.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 30 years old. This is one of the
Damn.
most irresponsible people in America. And we're defending him with more
Oh man.
irresponsible behavior. Driving 100 miles per hour, then getting static.
When I was in jail, man, this is what I got. This is what I say I'm unlikable. I mean, not a lot of people like Jason Whitlock, you know. So, you know, I guess they say, birds of a feather, flock together. I agree with probably 80 to 75% of his sentiments as a journalist. But when I was in jail, and we would see these type of incidents happen on the show Cops and stuff, and I would tell these dudes, like, and it was hilarious watching this stuff in person. How these guys would sit there, and, man, that's fucked up. Why you gotta do them like that? And I'll just be sitting there like, dog, dude, you know, you already know what I'm gonna say. So I'm just like, it, it, how he keep rubbing his head like, this is crazy. Yeah, I know it is. The powers that be have done a tremendous, extraordinary job at making people, specifically black people, very stupid.
With the police and uncooperative with the police, and then falling to the ground when they got him cuffed. Call Drew! Call Drew! He's yelling out to his teammates that are all caping up and trying to defend him. Call Drew! This is a grown man with 10, 11, 12 kids, and he's shouting for his agent when he's done something wrong. This isn't a grown man. This is an entitled child being defended by other entitled children, including you, Calais Campbell, the 6'8", 320-pound defensive tackle that showed up on the scene and like he was gonna fix it. And he wants to get staticky. Oh, that's Tyreek Hill. And when the police are telling, hey, get in your car and back up, he wants, well, this guy's telling me this guy. You're just all
I've seen it.
causing
I've
conflict
seen it in my
unnecessary.
own life. I've seen it
Standing
in
up
my
for my boy.
own life. I've seen it.
Boy is right. This is a child. When you have 10, 11, 12 kids, when you have one kid, two kids, when you have a wife, according to Tyreek Hill, I guess, is married now.
Yeah. That shit.
When you have that kind of responsibility, your behavior should be to avoid conflict, not invite conflict. But this entire situation brings into focus like, okay, what's the agenda? What's the motive here by the corporate media, by the puppet masters, by the Dolphins? And I'm about to further explain my slight defense of the Dolphins. But what's the agenda here? If we can in any way promote negative behavior that leads to death and incarceration.
Again, fair use. I'm not, this is not my video. Fair use.
For black men, we have to do it. And that's why Tyreek Hill is being defended. And that's why the Miami Dolphins and corporate media and the entire power structure is caping up for Tyreek Hill. Because his behavior, drive fast, drive irresponsibly. We got the statistics on that. You'll end up dead soon. Oh, get static cops, end up incarcerated or potentially killed soon. That's the message.
All right, well, you guys get the point, man. I don't want to play this dude's whole show, but that's pretty much it, man. When I saw it on Instagram, and I jumped in the comments and said, "Good work, police. Good job." Because this is the type of behavior that you guys. I'm someone that's considered quote unquote homeless. So this type of behavior, from my point of view, is still disgusting. I'm somebody who has dignity and decorum when I go about certain situations. You know how many times I've been walking around when I'm, having to go fill up the jugs of my water, or the jugs of my water, the jugs with water, or I'm going to go check my phone at Walmart or something, and there's like a little local police officer that drives around, just patrolling. But I get this heightened sense of like, I don't even acknowledge them. I really just pretend they're not. I ain't gonna say pretend, but you know, um, my thing is, if I was ever told like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I would always say like, "You don't see this Walmart right here, man?" And somebody may say, "Well, see, CJ, you got that." No, because my thing in that situation, or take it when I was at the metro station, and Metro Police came like, "Hey, man, if you're not catching a bus, you can't be here." And I got an attitude. I was like, "Dog, I've been doing this shit for 2 years already, and you the only one to come bother me like this." But and at that point, I was already ready to go. So I was like, I was already grabbing my stuff, and he just kept talking, and I didn't even say nothing. I just walked away because I really, truly don't have time for it. And what a coincidence that I was already ready to go. So that's my mindset, is I don't have time for it. I'm not out here stealing nothing. I'm not out here doing anything to cost any of these businesses any extra money. So outside of that, don't overdo your job where I can sense it. I can sense it. Um, so yeah, man, I appreciate y'all guys for listening, man. If y'all can leave comments and stuff like that, I'll read them all. You know, this is kind of like a new format. I'm gonna try to stay consistent with because it's pretty easy. And again, I appreciate y'all listening, man, and I'm out.